Hello, my name is Dylan High. I'm the graduate advisor with the Museology graduate program here at the University of Washington. The goal of this video today is to help you better understand if pursuing a museum studies graduate degree is the right path for you. We're assuming that you are watching this video because you are either interested in pursuing a career in museums and are deciding whether a graduate degree in this field makes sense for you, or that you are thinking about graduate school and aren't sure if museum studies is the right kind of degree to pursue. We'll touch on both of those, but I think for now, it's good to start with the question, why focus on museums at all? If you are looking into a field of study like museum studies that is based around a profession, we want to make sure that the industry is relevant. And I'm going to frame this part of the conversation around around the museology graduate program's core beliefs about why we think museums matter. On this slide, there's a group of students talking and gesturing at a piece of artwork hanging in the wall of an exhibit. We believe that museums can make the world a better place. The global pandemic has affected all areas of society, and while the inequalities and vulnerabilities it highlighted were not new, it exposed how deep they run. We believe that museums are playing and will continue to play a vital role in rebuilding our communities. This doesn't mean that we ignore the issues in museums that we need to address. Museums have their foundations as white supremacist colonialist institutions. But to go into a museum studies degree is to grapple with these issues and think about the implications. What does this mean for me? And what can I do as a museum professional to address this? On this slide, there's a group of students standing on some netting at a local children's museum. We believe the power of museums lies in the role they play in learning, well-being, community building, and social justice. We have seen how some museums have found ways to bring their communities together during this pandemic, to call out inequalities, to serve as a place for physical and mental healing, and to elevate the stories of those whose voices often aren't heard. This is also what we see as the strengths within the Museology graduate program. Other museum studies programs may focus on different strengths or opportunities for how museums can have an impact in our society. But generally, most museum studies programs will focus less on the specific content of museums, such as a degree in art history or history may focus upon, and will emphasize the underlying skills and knowledge for how to operate a museum and to better understand museums' role in society. That is why we believe museums are important, but how do we know if pursuing a museum studies degree is the right path for you? If you're looking into options for graduate school, or if you are thinking about pursuing another professional development path into the museum field, you should consider what you want to learn and how you learn. On this slide, there's a student holding an iPad, standing in front of a poster, interacting with visitors in the gallery of the Museum of Flight here in Seattle, Washington. Museum studies programs are more professionally oriented than some traditional academic disciplines. This can range from programs that are mostly academically focused to those that are more professional training in nature. Our program is somewhere right in the middle. In contrast, most certificate programs would probably fall somewhere much further to the side of being solely professional training and focus. If you are pursuing a graduate degree, most master's programs will have some element of academic work that goes beyond hard professional skills to build skills in things like analyzing, critical thinking, and problem solving. For the museology program, we believe that some of these broader skills are what's important for future museum professionals. We believe that museum professionals are connectors. They're storytellers, dialogue facilitators, community liaisons, designers, evaluators, researchers, project managers, and more. For us, the importance of what you learn from a museum studies degree goes beyond what you see in a job title, although of course these skills can help you advance in your career. Our curriculum is not tracked with silos in things like education, exhibit design, or collections management, although some museum studies programs do take this approach, and we of course do have coursework that focuses on some of these things. But our curriculum is much broader and holistic. We want students to make the connections between things and synthesize rather than going into very deep dives into a very limited scope of museum work. If you are someone that likes making these connections between ideas, then this program might be the kind of program for you. On this slide, there's a group of students around a table building a robotic vehicle of some sort. Museum studies is an interdisciplinary field. If you ask any of the museum studies programs here in the US, most of them will tell you that they are interdisciplinary, although their emphasis and expertise may be concentrated in different disciplines. In our program, we also draw on perspectives from things like education, nonprofit management, user design, and informal science to inform our curriculum. Our students come from a variety of academic backgrounds such as education, earth and physical sciences, anthropology, art history, communication, and more. We really value having a range of perspectives and life experiences in our classroom. If you want to only focus more heavily on one subject, like, say history or art history to inform your museum work, you may want to look for degrees in those areas. If you look through the museology curriculum currently, you won't find a class specific to art history, anthropology, history, science communication, etc. Many students may take a few classes in those departments while they're a student, but it won't be a major emphasis or a core of your focus within your experience within our program. On this slide, there is a gentleman in a blue shirt at a controller of a space module here at the Museum of Flight in Seattle. Not only do museums sit at the intersection of different disciplines, but they also sit at the intersection of a lot of organizational contexts, such as libraries, parks, nonprofits, community centers, and more. The museology program leans into these similarities, and we hope that the skills that students pick up in our program can be applied at a range of different kinds of organizations. Alumni from our program have shared with us how they're able to apply what they learned to various professional settings, with skills in things like nonprofit administration, audience research and evaluation, amplifying community voices and stories, informal learning, and more. So to recap, in this session, we covered why museums matter, how museum studies programs like ours try to prepare students to be museum professionals, and how your learning style and academic interests may guide your decision about whether to pursue a museum studies master's degree. The last point that we should make is that there's no right path for pursuing a career in the museum field. There's just the path that's right for you. While we of course believe that the Museum Studies program is a phenomenal program that we hope that you will consider, we don't expect that it will be the right fit for every person. If you're looking for more information about why you might want to join the Museology graduate program more specifically, we'll share more information in our follow-up video about some unique features about our degree here at the University of Washington. Thank you.